Listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to the latest in our webinar series here at PCI Geomatics. This is a series we've been doing on deriving information from geospatial imagery. We've done a couple so far that we'll go over shortly, but this one is going to be focused on agriculture and things that you can do with Geomatica software and RapidEye Imagery to derive information, and using ArcGIS as well. So basically, high-resolution satellite imagery is a really cost-effective way to monitor agricultural crop health, and you can identify vegetation stress for commercial farmlands. And this helps you ensure that your field specialists are deployed only when and where you see the signs of stress. This is a really great cost-effective measure, and the demonstration we're going to show you is going to go into that and how you can do that quickly and easily using our software. I say good morning or good afternoon because this is our international timed webinar, so we do have people from all over the world joining us. I see people in Japan, I see people in Europe. It's great that everybody was able to find the time to join us. Me personally, I am in Ottawa, Canada, as is Kevin Jones, one of our presenters, and we have a special guest today from Blackbird Geomatics who is joining us from Berlin, Germany. If you're unfamiliar with GoToWebinar and the way the interface works, know that your lines right now are muted during the course of the presentation. So if you're watching watching with a group of people or have some work to do in the background, feel free to work away. You won't disturb anything in the presentation at all. We will be having a question and answer session at the end of the presentation, but by all means, do not save your questions till the end. You can enter them in the questions panel on your interface, and we will save them. We will queue them up to ask at the end of the session. But enter them when they come to your mind, because sometimes it's easy to forget, and you don't want to do that, and then you'll be stuck without an answer to your question. Lastly, we are recording this presentation. So if you have any technical difficulties and you can't hear it, or you just want to watch it again later and show it to your friends and colleagues, we will be sending out a recorded version of that of this presentation in the next day or so. Presenting today, we have myself. My name is Jason. I'm just outside of Ottawa, Canada right now. I'm going to sort of be hosting and keeping things running along. I also have a couple of polls that I'm going to ask throughout the presentation to gauge interest and understanding about what what everybody out on the line there is doing with imagery and what they would like to do with imagery. The demonstration portion, the software demonstration, is going to be performed by Kevin Jones, my boss. He is the Director of Marketing here at PCI Geomatics, and he's also just outside of Ottawa in Canada right now. Kevin has a BA from Carleton University and a PMP certification from Project Management Institute. And Kevin's worked in the geospatial industry for over 20 years and has been involved in the design and delivery of a lot of tools for satellite and aerial derived information products in applications in defense, public safety, and obviously agriculture, which we're going to be talking about today. And the third one, that is not a picture of Clint Grauman, but Clint Grauman from Blackbird Geomatics is on the line. That is a picture of his colleague. So if you know Clint and you're not recognizing that picture, don't be alarmed. Clint has not changed his face. I just have the wrong photo in there. But Clint, we're very happy to have him joining us today, and he's going to talk about RapidEye imagery and its applications for this this segment that we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to open up a quick poll here, and basically we want to know what software package are you using primarily for your image processing. And there's a number of options there. We would like most of you to be using Geomatica, but obviously there are competitors out there and partners that that you might be using to process your imagery. And there is an option there for other. Obviously, there are more than 4 geospatial image processing tools out there. So, and I do ask actually, if any of you do put other in there, feel free to enter in the questions panel what software package you are using. Hopefully, those of you that are not using Geomatica, what you see here will convert you and make you see that the tools that we offer will probably be able to help you do your work easier and quicker. Yeah, so hopefully you learn a little something today. And looks like most people have voted there, so I'm going to shut that poll down. And good news for all of us anyway on this end of the line, over 50% of the people on the line are using Geomatica, which is great, and that's something we like to see. So those of you that are using Geomatica, you can be able to do the demonstration and the tools used in the demonstration right away to start helping with your agriculture projects. So actually, that's going to be it for me for the next few moments. I will be back later to have another poll and to handle the question and answer session for you. But at this point, to talk about the outline and the things that Kevin and Clint are going to be talking about, I'm going to pass it off to Kevin Jones right now, and he'll set up the rest of the presentation. Go ahead, Kevin.
Great. Thanks very much, Jason, for the introduction, and welcome again, everyone, to our webinar on deriving information from geospatial imagery for agriculture with Geomatica and ArcGIS. And obviously, a big focus of our webinar today is the use of RapidEye imagery, and we're really pleased to have Clint joining us to present a little bit of an overview on the benefits of working with RapidEye imagery. So just a really quick outline here, we are doing this series of webinars really to bring you some insights on how imagery is so much more powerful than using it as a backdrop for GIS applications. We have put together several webinars that are focused on deriving information for different applications. So I'll quickly go through some of the other webinars that we have done up to now and that we are planning to do in the coming weeks. Then I'll ask Clint to take over the presentation for a few minutes, and he's going to walk us through the benefits of working with RapidEye imagery for agricultural applications. Following Clint's quick overview, we're going to go into a live demonstration of using Geomatica and ArcGIS in conjunction for extracting information from the RapidEye imagery and also looking at how some of the results can be published and shared easily with the use of the ArcGIS platform and ArcGIS Online specifically. And then we will be getting into, we'll wrap up a little bit with a little bit of a summary on an exciting program that we have put together in partnership with Esri and also Blackbridge and MDA for leveraging imagery and software for getting more from imagery. So we do stick around till the end. We do have something exciting to tell you about regarding a special offer which we have right now for doing a lot of the work that you're going to see in this presentation. So some of the other webinars that we have done and are planning to do, just a really quick overview here. Those of you who are back and were present last week at our mining and construction information webinar, thanks for coming back. If you did not get a chance to see this particular topic, quite interesting. What we did in this case is we leveraged stereo overlapping imagery from both satellites and also airborne sensors to derive elevation models. So what you're seeing is a digital surface model that is being used to detect changes in elevation and even get down to measuring volumetric information. What you're seeing here on the screen is quantified change in volume, so basically stockpiles on a construction site. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, by all means, you can head to our website and download a recorded version of that. And we'll just go to the next slide here. Obviously, the topic that we are covering today is agriculture. So that's today, and yep, we'll just go to the next one. We have another webinar this week, actually, tomorrow, planned for 3D city modeling. And we're going to be presenting this in conjunction with Jeff Taylor, who works for the City Engine team down in the U.S. for Esri, and so we'll be talking about the automated methods for deriving elevation information, and also some more detailing, some more powerful tools for detailing specific iconic buildings. We offer a tool called 3D Feature Extract, which allows you to build the geometry up in 3 dimensions, texturize the geometry, and produce these 3D building models, which you're seeing here on the screen. So we'll be walking through how the technology can be used, both Geomatica and City Engine, to automate a lot of this process, but also the use of the 3D models for modeling and for planning and scenario building and so on. We have another webinar planned with our other imagery partner for the Imagery Grant Program, which is MDA. In this case, this is radar imagery. And so what we're seeing here on the screen is a final result, if you will, of a map that we produced for flooding over the Red River in Winnipeg, Canada. And that's going to be presented on October 1st. And we'll be showing really the power of using synthetic aperture radar imagery inside Geomatica and also with ArcGIS for producing these types of map products very rapidly so that the information can be disseminated out to decision makers who need to deploy people out in the field to respond to different situations. All right, so at this point I'll pass over to Clint, who's going to walk us through the RapidEye slides.
Hi everyone. Again, thank you for the invitation to come in and speak regarding agriculture. At Blackbridge, we've had a long-standing relationship with PCI, and it's a privilege to be able to present our agricultural program and uses on this presentation. So I'll do a quick overview of the RapidEye constellation owned and operated by Blackbridge, and then I'll talk about the agricultural program. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the RapidEye system, it's a constellation of 5 identical satellites. Those 5 satellites enable daily revisit to any target on the surface of the Earth, 84 degrees to 84 degrees. We have broad area collection. The swath width of our imagery is 77 kilometers wide, and it's ideal for large area mapping, monitoring, and especially agriculture. The revisit rate enables us to perform great change detection services and monitoring. The resolution is 5 meters. At the native level, the level 1B basic format, it's 6.5 meters, but the orthorectified imagery is at 5 meters. And our imagery is multispectral with 5 spectral bands. We were the first commercial satellite to offer the red edge band. We have blue, green, red, red edge, and near infrared. Red edge was specifically and purposely put on the sensors for agriculture and vegetation monitoring. And later on, I guess on this next slide here, we'll talk about a little bit of the benefits. You can see where our red edge band sits as compared to our other bands. The red edge band is specifically used for monitoring vegetative health, improve the species separation, and measure chlorophyll, protein, and nitrogen content. What we've seen this used for, many of our partners in the industry use this in place of some algorithms with NDVI. It's vegetation indices. We have a proprietary indices as well using the red edge band, and we've had nothing but really good feedback on that. Next slide, please. So some of the characteristics of the system that make it unique for agriculture, we can image up to 5 million square kilometers on any given day, and we hit that benchmark almost on a daily basis. We image approximately 1 billion square kilometers per year, and one of the great things about the imagery built up in our archive is that 76% of the imagery is at less than 10 degrees off nadir, and in that archive, we have today approximately 6 billion square kilometers, 80% cloud-free. Here is a map of the imagery that we've collected since the beginning of commercial operations in 2009. You can see the areas that are very heavily orange. It's a little bit difficult to see the legend in the lower left-hand corner, but you can see the agricultural areas in the United States have been imaged up to 50 times between 2009 and 2013. We're almost at the end of our agricultural season in North America, again, as well as Europe. And we have agricultural imaging planned, as you can see, in Latin America, some of the heavily orange areas, as well as Australia, China, and other places around the world, but those are our heaviest programs. In this, you can see a basic heat map of all of the imagery that we've collected at less than 20% cloud cover. Next, please. There we go. So when you look at the crop production cycle, we believe it's very important to have consistent in-season imagery. And it's to make sure that we're gaining imagery throughout the planting season, emergence heading, the maturity of the plant, and senescence. And as you click through, what the imagery has been used for is, in the off-season you see pre-season imagery that's used for soil preparation, early season for seed selection, nutrient management, pest management, water management, and harvesting. These are all use cases that our imagery is used for on the multi-temporal aspects. And here are some examples of a single field throughout the season and classified using RapidEye imagery. Field level analytics, one of the things that we really have as an advantage using our system is that we have an archive built up specifically in agriculture archive over the last 3 growing seasons in North America, and we're building out programs across the world as well to give you that multi-temporal aspect, not only in season, but multi-temporal imagery throughout previous growing seasons as well, to give you not only in-season decision-making capability, but also predictive modeling based upon previous years. I believe you'll need to click again here to get the rest of the slide up. So, yeah, as we walk through this, the monitoring programs that we have cover approximately 3 million square kilometers in North America. That is essentially the Corn Belt areas of the U.S. plus some extended areas, as well as parts of Western Canada, including Saskatchewan, Alberta, and parts of Manitoba. And altogether, those are 3 million square kilometers that we task on a monthly basis. And then also during our program, we don't just provide the imagery that's tasked one time in that season or in that month. We also provide all imagery that's collected that meets product specifications during that time period. So monitoring this large area, the users provided usually with between 2 and in the most extreme cases up to 4 or 5 images on a monthly basis of the agriculture areas. The real benefits and keys to the ag program that we run is that it is covering a large area, because we know that those that work in agriculture, whether it's on the research side or on the production and commercial side, agriculture is an area or a business of big areas, and broad area collection is absolutely important. Multiple in-season images, those are also important to detect change and make predictive decisions. 5-meter imagery has a big benefit over using free Landsat imagery. You're able to get down to the field level and make decisions that are more precise in nature. Quick delivery. Our imagery is collected and delivered in a GeoCloud environment within 17 to 24 hours after collection so that you can make decisions in real time. And the programs are customizable. Like I indicated earlier, we're running programs all across the world, but we're also able to take those programs and break them up into manageable areas where it's meaningful. So just a quick example of the North American Ag Program. You can see that on this slide there is an image from May 15th, June 6th, July, and August during the 4-month growing season. We also have imagery in September as well. But what we also do is you see the slides that are in blue. As I mentioned earlier, we commit to developing and sending 1 image per month from the areas. But as you can see from the dates May 28th, 26th, July 13th, 16th, August 8th, and August 19th, anytime that we collect imagery that meets specifications, we also deliver that as well as just kind of an added bonus to the program. All of this, and this is my last slide in this presentation, all of this imagery is able to be fed into the Geomatica program with a web service or a cloud API that can be tapped in, and all this can be brought in directly into Geomatica. That's it in a nutshell on our ag program. There are a lot more details that can be more finely discussed in the question and answer session. And earlier I mentioned to the presenters when we were offline that I would have to depart, but I will be able to stay until the end for the question and answer session. So if you have questions that you haven't thought of right now, feel free to bring those in at the end, and I'll be happy to answer what I can.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Clint, for that overview. And I'm going to pass it now back to Kevin Jones to talk about how we can use this imagery specifically in Geomatica and set up the live demonstration. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thanks, Jason. I just want to quickly run you through how it is that we can extract information from imagery using ArcGIS and Geomatica. So I just put together a quick schematic view here of what all is going to be presented. So obviously on the left we have some imagery coming in from Blackbridge, multi-temporal imagery. Using ArcGIS and Geomatica we can do different things. On the top, on the right, what we see is RapidEye imagery in the backdrop with some information that's been extracted that is showing us the vegetation health and some different indices overlaid on top. And down on the bottom there you see basically an example of the information that can be disseminated via mobile devices. So it's just a picture of an app that we built displayed on our iPhone, on an iPhone. Yeah, so what we'll be doing is we'll be deriving some vegetation indices using Geomatica, and I'll just get into the specifics of that. If we can get to the next slide here. So for proper analysis and information extraction, we need to be careful about how we do things. Luckily, there are some really great tools available within Geomatica to make sure that the information we're extracting is consistent and accurate. What I'm speaking of, obviously, is atmospheric correction, and that's important especially if we're looking at multiple dates and we're trying to compare values, relative values from one date to the next or from one field to the next on the same imagery or across different images and so on. We need to remove the atmospheric conditions to get back to the at-sensor reflectance values so that we can measure those. Once we do the atmospheric correction, we can do different calculations to derive vegetation indices. There's a few that we're going to be focusing on that are specifically targeted or very well suited for RapidEye imagery. We have a vegetation index that gives an indication of chlorophyll health. So chlorophyll obviously is food for plants, and so a stress in terms of chlorophyll is going to translate into a stress for the plant. The second vegetation index that we'll be looking at is leaf area index. So that's just a measure of the fullness of the canopy or of the plant structure, both its volume and in the z-axis, and also how full it is filling the field. So we'll be able to compute LAI. And then obviously we want to report and take action. So that's just an overview of how we can use the information to derive, or how we can use the imagery to derive information and disseminate the results out. So as I was mentioning just quickly here, atmospheric correction is really important. We have different aerosols and different illumination conditions that are affecting the pixel values on the non-atmospherically corrected imagery. And so what we need to do is we need to essentially apply an atmospheric correction model so that we can remove the effects of the atmosphere and get back to the actual ground reflectance values on the imagery. Here we see the panel that is available in Geomatica. I will be pulling this up and showing you how it works. It's quite easy. We have very good metadata extraction in Geomatica. So what we can do is simply point to a RapidEye image that we have ingested into the Geomatica software and perform the atmospheric correction in a quite automated manner. It's quite simple to perform. So the vegetation indices that we're going to be calculating are, we've done our research here and found that these two particular vegetation indices are quite well suited to RapidEye. The M-Carry vegetation index is going to allow us to say something about the chlorophyll content in the particular fields, and a second vegetation index is known as MTVI, which is going to give us some indication of the leaf area index that is contained within the field. So these particular formulas are, again, well suited because of the red edge band. They're leveraging the fact that that red edge band is there, and we're going to simply be performing some band math and applying those vegetation indices using Geomatica. There's a few different options available. What I'll be showing is using the raster calculator, which is quite a powerful tool for really performing any kind of band math that you want to apply. And specifically, we pulled these formulas from the scientific papers, plugged them into our software, and we're able to generate results quite easily. So it's quite simple to apply them. And so we'll be showing that live in a second here. Just some more information here from researchers at RapidEye that M-Carry has been identified as a suitable chlorophyll index, which makes use of the red edge band. So we try to provide you some references there, so you can go back and read the papers if you want to. So here we have some different scenarios. I'm going to go through the results first to give you a sense of what we're doing. So here we have pretty strong correlation between the chlorophyll and the leaf area index. We don't see much difference between the two. In this situation here, very similar as well. This particular field has a similar pattern in terms of the stressed areas and the healthy areas. So again, we don't see any particular difference between these two fields, and this is good information to have. In this situation, we have a little bit of a different scenario. We have on the right, we can see the leaf area index is giving us some trouble spots over here on the right, and it doesn't look as severe up here in the top left, or maybe down here in terms of the. Sorry, I'm just pointing on the LAI map. Yeah, so the trouble spot that we can't see on the LAI is on the left over here where it's dark green. Everything looks fine on the LAI, or actually a little bit above that. And also, so if we look at the chlorophyll, so the benefit of having the two vegetation indices is the chlorophyll is actually telling us that even though maybe the plant volume is there, or the plant structure is covering a lot of area as seen from above, that plant is not doing well. There's some stress on that plant. It could be a pest, it could be a lack of nitrogen, fertilizer. Something is not right with that portion of the field. So having these two vegetation indices is quite useful for troubleshooting some of these different problems. And as Clint was mentioning on his slides, the different use cases or applications of this information in terms of pest management or nitrogen application or those types of things. So if we go to the next slide. All right, so we're going to be getting into the live demonstration here, so I'm going to request control. So hopefully everyone can see my screen now. And the first thing I want to do is I would like to show you a uncorrected RapidEye imagery, so an image that was essentially delivered from Blackbridge. Sorry, let me just grab this file location here. All right, so Geomatica is here, and I'm going to load up Focus, which is the viewer for Geomatica, and I will open up a RapidEye image that has not been corrected. I'll zoom out to the full extent here. So we can see that we have, right now we're displaying 3 bands, but the imagery does come with multiple bands. And if I pull up a histogram here, you'll see that the imagery is actually scaled up to, it's a 32-bit image, so it's a scaled, really the information that we're getting from the pixel value is going to make it more difficult for us to do some analysis. So the atmospheric correction, not only will it remove the effects of the atmosphere, but it will also give us everything on a fixed scale, a relative scale from 0 to 100, so that we can compare the numeric values from field to field. So obviously that is something that we're going to want to do, and the process for atmospheric correction is quite simple. So if I go under Analysis, Atmospheric Correction, and I can click directly on ground reflectance, which is what I'm trying to obtain here. It's a very simple interface. It's a sort of a wizard-based interface. And if I click on the sensor and image settings, what I can do is I can pull down the file name, and you can see that right away all of the metadata that is contained in the file. If I right-click here and go Properties and metadata, this is just to give you an idea for RapidEye, all of the metadata that we collect. And so all of this metadata information is used for different operations in our software, in particular here for atmospheric correction. Calculating these different parameters is done automatically. Then we can set some other parameters. In this case, we don't need to do any cloud masking. We don't need to do haze removal. That's more for aesthetics if we're producing a mosaic or something like that. We can use a detailed elevation model for mapping the illumination, the different illumination changes over the area. So this is a specific DM that we can specify. And here we can make some changes to the types of aerosol that we think we'll encounter. So we have different options here. What this does is it models the atmospheric or the aerosol type based on the latitude or the location on the globe. So we could pick US standard. We can change here the visibility of the atmosphere to a certain elevation. And then basically we would hit run. So that would produce our atmospherically corrected image, which I'm going to load now. I'm not going to bother running it because it does take a few minutes. All right, so let me just grab this file here. So here's our same data set. This time it's been atmospherically corrected. So if I zoom out, visually it doesn't look very different. However, if I pull up the histogram, what you'll notice is that we have a scale now that is from 0 to 100, and our values are ground reflectance values. So those are specific values that we can use to compare field to field, and are just going to be more useful in terms of deriving information that we can make decisions with. All right, so essentially what we want to do then is on a field-by-field basis, we can specifically look at different fields and try to calculate some of these vegetation indices. So if I switch over to my Files tab, you'll notice that my PICS file has different information in it. I spent some time earlier today drawing some fields which might be of interest. So I'll zoom in on them here. And what I have is essentially a mask that I can use when I'm performing my calculations so that I can specifically isolate these particular fields here. So if we look at these fields just from strictly a visual perspective, we can definitely see some differences, but obviously getting more detailed information through the calculation of these vegetation indices is going to be important. So the way that we'll do that is we're going to calculate our vegetation indices. So I've got the formula here memorized in this little note, and it's quite simple to do. So under Tools, Raster Calculator, I have this nice panel here that comes up. As I was mentioning in the introduction, we can perform any kind of bandmath that we want. So this is the particular formula that we've adapted for RapidEye in order to calculate the this is the Imagery, so the chlorophyll content. So this is what is going to be calculated. Obviously, the location of the bands and the proper identification of the bands is critically important. So we know that we have the blue, the green, the red edge, and the near infrared in our 5 channels here. And as you can see, we're taking advantage of the red edge and the red band primarily, and we're applying some constants. We can apply a mask for a calculation. So I'm doing the 3 fields at once here, but we could do them one by one. And I'm going to use a 32-bit real channel here to view the results, and I'll just go ahead and hit run. So that's just going to take a few seconds, and it's going to give us a result on screen, which will allow us to understand a little bit better what's happening. All right, so there's our Imagery. I'll just close the raster calculator for a second, and I just need to apply a little bit of a change here to display the contents. I'll just zoom out, zoom back in here, and apply an enhancement. So there we see our vegetation index that's been calculated over those fields. We're just going to label that Imagery chlorophyll, and I'm going to pull up the raster calculator once again, and this time what I want to calculate is the leaf area index for those same fields. So here I have my formula that we've put together based on the scientific papers, and once again I'm going to I just need to start from the right file there. Tools, raster calculator, paste my formula in, make sure that I pick my mask so that I'm only calculating over those fields of interest, and once again hit run. So now this is calculating the leaf area index, and I'll close this out. And I'll just copy that label in here so we know which one is which. All right, I'll just apply my enhancement once again so that I can see everything properly. All right, so kind of interesting. One thing that struck me initially when I did this is you can see some banding here on the image, and it's actually a reflection of the rows, probably the rows in between the crops. I'm not quite sure what crop this is. By the way, this is in California. These are quite large fields, and what we're seeing here is the leaf area index for that particular field. And if I toggle with the chlorophyll values look quite good, but also the LAI information is available here. So these can be shown in different representations. I'm just going to pull up. I preset up this this particular project so that we can look at the results here. So here we have the leaf area index on the bottom, and then we have the chlorophyll. So this is the field that we were discussing in the PowerPoint slides. So we can see that the chlorophyll is showing signs of stress here in this portion of the field, and that's actually giving us information that we don't see in the leaf area index. So it's quite useful to have both of these vegetation indices. In the case of the second field, which is to the north of it, we see pretty strong correlation between the leaf area index and the chlorophyll in terms of the location of the areas of stress and the areas that are doing well. So that in a nutshell is how we can use Geomatica to derive the information. So you can see that using the GUI interface, I can produce a lot of these results. We do have a lot of capability to automate this process, both using our tools and also through scripting. We introduced Python with a new version of our software, so that is definitely possible. The next part of my demonstration is to show how we can take this information and disseminate it out to people via ArcGIS. So ArcGIS is a very powerful platform, and what we can do is we can take that information that we calculated using Geomatica and produce different maps that can be published out to the web. And so I've just loaded ArcGIS here, and I can load up different images. This is the actual, so I'll load up the blue, the green, and the near infrared. All right, so just a quick view here to show you that obviously the imagery can be displayed in ArcGIS. And in ArcGIS, we have a lot of options for publishing content out. So here under Catalog, we can publish this out to a specific server. What we did actually is we connected our ArcGIS server account to our ArcGIS Online account in order to publish some of these results here. I'm not going to go through the specific steps on that part of it. What I'll do is I'll jump to the result, which we were able to get from that. So essentially, we authored a map in ArcGIS. We published it out to ArcGIS Online, and we're able to produce this dashboard, which is quite nice. Here we have some of the different fields. As you can see, we have our base map displayed. We have the different information that can be turned on and off. So rather than sending a static PDF map for a specific field, what we can do is we can actually publish this content out and send that to perhaps our end customers. In the case of a consulting firm, this could be something that could be used to deliver the contents out. So we can turn the specific fields on and off. We can change our base map, which is great. That's coming straight from the ArcGIS platform, online platform. And we can run specific queries. So here we have a preset query that we ran, which is looking at the specific numeric values for a particular field. And I'm just going to zoom to that field and show you the results of that. So here's the field in question, and so what we wanted to do is to quantify the location and also the severity of the problem with the specific vegetation index. So we were able to run a query on the leaf area index that's below a certain value. And we can see here the results of that. So we picked a threshold where the leaf area index was a little bit low, and we can see that visually exactly where that is. That could be used to in the field directly to understand. If we had an iPad with GPS enabled, obviously we could see directly where we are, or perhaps this could be entered directly into GPS-driven farm equipment that can be used to do variable rate application for pesticide control or nitrogen application. And then we can also do some things like calculate total acreage for this particular location. So you can see that we've got about 10,000 acres or 2% of this field, which is covered, which has low leaf area index values. So hopefully that gives you a taste of how easy it is to really go from imagery to information out into the form of in the form of information really that can be used to make critical decisions. And with that, I will pass back to Jason.
Yep, perfect. Thank you, Kevin. Just let me set up my screen here again. And I hope everybody can hear me. I'm just going to launch another poll here quickly, actually. And what we're looking for now is how often are you personally or your organization dealing with imagery or working with imagery, processing it on a regular basis? It might be something that you are doing every day, maybe just every now and then. It looks like a pretty even split, actually, which is interesting. This is one of these standard questions that we ask from time to time. We like to ask these questions to make sure that we're delivering content that is relevant to you, and this helps shape our future webinars and even helps shape how we produce our software in a lot of ways. And I'll close this poll and I'll share the results a little bit. About half of you are processing imagery daily, which is great, and perhaps that's the same half that are using Geomatica. But we do see a pretty even split of people that are touching imagery maybe once a month or even less than that, which is definitely interesting. So thank you for taking part in that poll, and this does make our webinars and our products better and more suited to you. I do want to remind everybody that our question and answer session is coming up shortly, so if you have a question for Clint or Kevin, feel free to enter it in the questions panel at any time, or you can raise your hand, so to speak, using the interface, and we will be able to open up your line if you have a microphone. And before we get to the question and answer, Kevin is going to speak a little bit about our relationship with Esri and Blackbridge and an offer that may be available to you there in the future. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thanks, Jason. So just quickly on the relationship with Esri and PCI. The purpose of this webinar and the reason we chose to focus on ArcGIS and working together with Geomatica is that we strongly believe, both PCI and Esri, that there's more than just a base map in terms of content and imagery. And we definitely have been working together to communicate to the essentially to multiple people at conferences and through these webinars that it's really quite easy to work with imagery, and there's a lot of content that's available. We actually became partners with Esri in 2009, and one of the key things that we've done together is the base map that you see when you pull up ArcGIS online. A lot of that content, roughly 1/3 of the world's landmass, was actually processed using PCI software by Esri. So Esri actually used our capability on the Amazon cloud to be able to process 50 million square kilometers of GeoEye imagery, Iconos specifically. So obviously we have a long-standing relationship with Esri, and we do a lot of different things together. If we go to the next slide. As I mentioned off the top, we have put together this imagery grant program, the Natural Resources Imagery Grant Program. This is actually a program that we ran together with Esri and also Blackbridge and MDA, where essentially recipients were able to get GIS and image processing software, so ArcGIS and Geomatica. They're also able to access synthetic aperture radar or RadarSat 2 imagery, as well as RapidEye imagery from Blackbridge, multispectral imagery. And we provided some training on using those tools, both Geomatica and ArcGIS, as well as the imagery, to really uncover the value of imagery for different applications. If we go to the next one, we have a slide here on the Metropolitan State University of Denver. They performed some analysis with RadarSat 2 imagery. They collected some digital elevation models. They were also able to interpret landforms from the RapidEye imagery that they were provided, and really what they were looking at is estimating amounts of water in glaciers in a particular study area here in Chile. Another example of a case study that is come out of this imagery grant program is the Madison County Council of Governments. This is a county located in Indiana, and they were able to use multi-temporal RapidEye and Landsat imagery together with Geomatica and ArcGIS to look at surface temperature and land use pattern change over quite a number of years, going back 40 years. And the next slide. So we do have a special offer right now, and I do want to make mention of it. If you want to find out if you're eligible to purchase these combined tools and also to access imagery at a discounted rate, do get in touch with us, marketing@pcigeomatics.com. We are running a program right now where everything that you saw in this webinar, ArcGIS, Geomatica, RapidEye imagery, and MDA imagery, can be offered in a bundled manner so that you can access this powerful capability for your organization. And I think with that, essentially just to mention that we are doing a series of events at the moment, PCI, together with our partners, RapidEye here on the line today. We are on the road with our Geomatica software, which was released only a few months ago, and some of the events here that we're planning to attend in live. If you happen to be in these different locations, we hope to see you at the show. And also the webinars are continuing, and some of the dates are highlighted there. So I think with that, Jason, I'll pass it back to you for the Q&A.
Oh, there, very perfect, Kevin. Thank you very much, and thank you to Clint. I'm gonna wait and see. Now is the chance, everybody. If you do have a question for Kevin or for Clint, now is the time to enter that into the questions panel, or perhaps raise your hand. While I'm waiting for some questions to filter in, seems we have a shy group this morning or this evening, wherever you happen to be. I do want to mention I was sending out links earlier. If you check your chat panel in your interface and you're interested in viewing any of the past webinars or our future webinar, especially the one that we are delivering tomorrow, same time as today, our 3D urban modeling webinar, I sent out links in the chat interface there that you can just click on and access the recordings or register for the live one tomorrow. Also on getgeomatica.com, the page where you can see and learn more about the shows we're going to and access to the webinars. You do have access to a 15-day fully functional free trial of Geomatica 2014. Now I know that most of you on the line are Geomatica users based on the poll, but perhaps you're using an older version and have not yet had the opportunity to use the 2014 version. And for those of you that answered you're using other software packages, by all means, risk-free trial. I encourage you to go to getgeomatica.com, download your free trial, and learn firsthand the things that you can do with it. It's available for Windows 64-bit systems and Linux, and yeah, absolutely. And again, shy group, I'm gonna ask here. I just want to put, if I may, I'll give a little bit of warning. Clint is still on the line. I'm going to put Clint, you on the spot. If you still have your phone open, it's been a while since you were able to speak. How can I'm just hoping, how can people, if they're interested in getting imagery from RapidEye, how are people able to do that? Is there a contact information that we can send out to people, or anything else you'd like to add based on the presentation that we've done today?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me here, and it's not on the spot, it's perfectly fine. There are a couple of ways that you can access the RapidEye imagery for this solution. I would say that your first point of contact, especially for this program, would be to contact your representative at PCI. A second contact, if you're unable to do that, or if you need more in-depth questions answered about the service, you can contact us directly. The easiest way is to contact support@blackbridge.com, and they will direct you to the right person in the region of the world that can help you with those programs. Again, the imagery is available as direct download through FTP, but we can also feed it directly in through an API that ties into the PCI system.
Perfect. Thank you, Clint. And is there? Just want to see if there are any more. Is there any way that I guess I'm wondering, there is much like PCI has the free trial available for the software. Is there any? Does RapidEye have a sample imagery program? Maybe some older imagery or things that people can use to understand and the value of this imagery before making a purchase?
Sure, that's a good question. What we do on a regular basis is, if we were to look at our agriculture program specifically, we have the web interface that's a manual effort where you can step in. We can give you login credentials where you can view, download, and sample quite a bit of data over the ag program, which would include up to 3 years of imagery to test the system. We'll set it up with a free 15-day trial as well. That will come with a demonstration license that allow you to use that for that 15-day period to understand how the system works. So yeah, it corresponds very directly with the trial that PCI is able to give.
Excellent. That's fantastic, Clint. And I do see the questions have sort of dried up here. I'm going to talk slowly for the last little bit just to give people an opportunity to ask anything else at the last minute, but we have reached the top of the hour, so I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you to Clint from Blackbridge. I sent out that email link to people, support@blackbridge.com, if you're interested in learning more about how to access RapidEye and RapidEye imagery. For the offer to see if you're eligible, It's marketing@pcigeomatics.com. To learn more about any of our future events and to download our trial, it's getgeomatica.com. And by all means, check us out on social media, check out our website, and keep your eye on your inbox for news about future events and webinars in your area. Thanks again to everybody. And with that, no more new questions. I will be sending out a recording of this session in the next day or so, so look for that. And thanks again to everybody, and I hope you all have a nice day or nice evening.